Good morning, Dandilofts here in Germany, and I just thought I'd do a little loft update. We've got now 6th, 7th April, somewhere around about there, I don't know, and I'm 3 weeks away from the first training races. Our first race being about 80 miles or something, training. But for the sprinters, the sprint racing. So far we are at, I have all the birds weaned, I have all the cocks and hens separated, and they're all working the roundabout system well. But of course, with this cold weather, wind, lots of easterly winds at the moment, bit of rain we've got at the moment, too early to be doing any road training for me. I understand in the UK you're starting a lot earlier, so it's different, but here my training will start 2 weeks before the end of April, so around about 14th, 15th, round about there. So if we have a quick look round, it's what is it, 9 o'clock in the morning here, 9:30, something like that. So the cocks, yearlings, as you can see, they're all pretty calm. Haven't had any breakfast yet, haven't been out. It's a bit dismal today, but they will be going out later. And then have all young birds in these sections, all the weaned young birds. All looking okay. No breakfast. Haven't eaten either, and of course they're ready to eat. But the other cocks sitting waiting, nice and relaxed. Unfortunately I left that one in there last night. See, mistakes happen. So the yearlings are all ready for training. Food wise, they're on super diet with a energy mix and more gold with protein 2000, Enterobac and Kräuter Vital every day. The hens, the whole night, just their aviary, and they're just sitting there waiting. And the same the other side. Hens all sitting there nice and comfortable, looking good. There's the basket training for the young birds, and when I'm not basket training they can come out there, landing board, they can also drink water and that while in the baskets or not in the baskets. So that's for the yearlings, and of course the yearlings are the ones that have got to learn when the racing starts, the sprint racing starts. They have to do 12 races out to 400 miles. The stock lot is just finishing off a couple of specific young birds that I've targeted to have. Excuse me. Oh my word. So in the stock loft, I have a young bird section as well. This is the first lot of young birds that were weaned. One of them actually, that little red one there, got hit by a hawk yesterday, but luckily I managed to catch it with the hawk on top of it. Missed the hawk by millimetres with a plank of wood, but he survived, got a little scratch, that's all. So that's just the young birds in the stock loft. The rest of the stock birds, as I said, there's a few of them got a couple of young birds in there, but most of them are just sitting on dummy eggs and just all looking in fine fettle. In this section they have free access to a open section. So the cocks, when they're not sitting, or the hens when they're not sitting, can sit in here. There's also a couple on the floor. Some young birds there. And the second stock loft, or stock section shall I say. And here is the majority of brachius birds and the military rogala from Poland, the extreme distance pigeons, and they've all got youngsters because I need about 18 of them youngsters to give it a good test this year to see if they can stand up to the regime at Dandilofts, which is not easy. As everybody is probably aware, at Dandilofts here I don't medicate the birds, ever. No, that's not true. I don't medicate the birds unless a vet would tell me to medicate the birds, which they haven't for about 5 years. So no medicines are given. So the birds have to be naturally fit and healthy and with a very good immune system. Now the distance loft, of course, slightly different because they're not going to be hard pushed for the training for the sprint races. They're just going to do them to make sure the fat's off them and get a bit of condition onto them. They all sit in here. There's the cocks. Black and white pied there is the son of Reliable. There's the cock there, the blue grizzle there is paired to Miss Paris. This is red grizzle and red grizzle lines. These two yearlings from last year, they're now 2-year-olds, they've already done 550. A few other yearlings that have come across the distance loft. And as you can see, one box is locked up. The 33630 was taken by the hawk. Bit of a bummer, son of Paris. But that's life. Let's not worry about what's not here, let's worry about what's in the loft. And then the other section in the distance loft for the hens. A bit of light. And the hens are all on V perches. There's Miss Paris. As you see, a bit of shit on the floor in this loft. This is the only problem with V perches. It's not as easy to clean up as what box perches are, but it makes it a little bit more uncomfortable for them. So hopefully they don't pair up. At this moment in time I don't have any problem with pairing up. And you see, no breakfast, they've had no breakfast. So that's the state of play at the moment at Dandilofts. So I've got 2 weeks, well, no, probably about 8 days now, 10 days before I have to start training. Now, training. I like to do a very intensive training 2 weeks before the racing starts.